Hi, I'm Tony Staunton, Irish bartender out of Chicago. After years of drinking, I decided to take a year off. So as I begin my journey, I decided to ask fellow bartenders what they do to stay healthy and avoid the industry hazards of the bar business. Welcome to Wide Awake 52. Tony Griffin, welcome to Wide Awake 52.
Tony Staunton, how are you, bud?
Yeah, good. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for letting us use your bar, by the way. I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah.
more than welcome.
This is episode 52, so it's been quite a ride.
Yeah.
It's great to get a man like you on the show. So tell me how you started. How did you end up in the hospitality, out in the bar business?
Well, I think I started off in Ireland as a lounge boy. That's where you're like a waiter or something like that. I was 15 at the time. I'm 54 now. And I started off waiter, and then they put me behind the bar when I was about 15 and a half to serve anybody who was 18 and over, you know.
Nice.
So that was in the early 80s, and then I proceeded to do an apprenticeship in Ireland for 3 years. As you know yourself, you worked over there, and I think I worked in the same place for like 5 years, and then I decided to jump on a boat and come to America and see what it was all about.
Yeah, you came stateside in the 80s.
Stateside, late 88. Actually, I was supposed to work in this bar. It was the first bar I had a drink in, and it got sold, but I ended up managing it and for a few years, and then I went out and opened up a couple of bars, and I've been in the bar business in the States for 34 years.
Could you describe what was the drinking culture like back then in the old days?
Well, the drinking culture in Ireland was, as soon as you had a hair on your chin, you could have a beer. But over here, what I noticed about it was it wasn't just beer, it was shots. You would drink beers, then all of a sudden you'd Jägermeister, you're drinking Ritz, you're drinking all these beers. And so went from an Irish guy coming over, you could get a pack of cigarettes, a beer, and tip the bartender for $5. You felt like a king. And then somebody
You wouldn't be going too far with that now.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be lucky to get one beer and tip the bartender a buck. But it was nuts. The drinking culture was nuts because this shot thing was different.
What I found amazing is that they go out for 2 hours here, but they consume the same amount of units of alcohol. Whereas an Irish guy will go out like on noon on a Sunday until like 8 o'clock in the night.
Yeah.
Over 8, it's the same amount of units.
Yeah, he's running a marathon where
Yeah.
the American drinking was pound and
They're like, oh, we
pound
gotta
and
go,
pound
let's go.
and pound, let's get pound and round, basically. It was nuts, and being in the bar game, you're a bit of the center of attention. You're dictating the night, whether you play the music or the jukebox. You had a good jukebox, or you were funny behind the bar. You were interacting. It was a complete different change to in Ireland, where you give somebody a pint and they'd mutter something at you, and you'd be like, walk away. Over here, it was.
They
like
want to talk to you here. In Ireland, it's more like a vending machine.
Exactly.
You're just like,
exactly.
here's your
There
drink
you
now,
go.
yeah.
A robot can
Pay
do
me.
it.
Yeah.
Over here, it's a little bit and off the boat type of Irish bartenders. It was very easy to make friends and get caught up in the drinking culture. You would drink. Over here, you could drink behind the bar. It was like almost
That's
you could
insane.
drink.
Like in Ireland, it's like work. It's like they're like bank tellers. It's like a commodity.
It is. I mean, here's your service at the end of the night when you're finished cleaning, and you might get 2 pints.
Yeah, 1 pint. Yeah, you're after killing yourself over.
You'd have to rush.
Shift.
You'd have to rush off to a nightclub to catch a few pints, But it's over here was completely different. I mean, it was like you were bartending, you were learning new cocktails, you're drinking with the patrons, So you could be drinking 10, 15 shots. From a guy
over the course of a night.
over the course of a night, and a couple of beers to wash them down, and then, you'd go off to a 4 o'clock bar with your entourage, the staff, and you'd go in there, and all the bartenders knew you. So it was a savage drink culture, to immerse yourself in.
So then you don't drink anymore.
No, I haven't. I haven't drank in. I think I made it up the other day. It was 12 years.
So was it
Something like
hard to initially? Do you think it was hard to take a break, or?
Oh, it was one of the hardest things I ever done in my life. I've got 12 years consistent, and before that, I had done 5 years of no drinking, no smoking, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll try drinking, you know, and I just found it was a slippery slope, you know. Everybody's like, why can't you have one or two? I can't have one or two. I gotta have 21 or 22, you know. It was like,
Say you want to go on 2 sessions drinking.
you just want to go out and do whatever, you know. And so to me, it's just easier not to drink. And as you get older, the hangovers ain't as bad, you know. One day of fun is 3 days hurting, you know.
Oh yeah.
It should just, you know, and me, I just got sick and tired of feeling sick and tired.
So as you know, thank you to your encouragement, I did take a whole year off from drinking because I was doing a lot of session drinking, and I think you kind of were very kindly a little bit corrective of my behavior. And I think for me initially, it was more like, yeah, whatever, I can fucking take a year off, no problem. But I will say the first couple of weeks the first 90 days were pretty rough.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been an interesting ride, you know.
Yeah.
I think emotionally, on one of our interviews, Chris said that, you know, when you're not drinking, you can't hide anything. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of brings a lot of things out, and it's good, you know. It's good to deal with things, and
It's good where you get some clarity in your life instead of sleeping behind the wheel or being drunk behind the wheel.
yeah,
You know, there's different things to drinking in life. Like, I mean, you can have a better, healthier life. I mean, if you don't take care of yourself, and it's like back in the late '80s, drinking and smoking, it was nuts. You know, it was, you know. And as you get older, you appreciate you've less time you've less time around. You know, so you got to improve your quality of life. You know, your longevity of it. And fair play to you, Tony. You know, you made yourself proud and everybody else, man.
all right, well, thanks a lot, man.